Welcome back to the Dividend Diplomats YouTube channel. Everyone, you got Lanny and Bert here, the Dividend Diplomats. We're about to talk to you about a nice undervalued dividend stock battle royale here between two giants in their industry.
Smash that subscribe button. Give Bert and I a thumbs up. We're going to put these two toe to toe right now to see which one is the better dividend stock to deliver that vaccine to your portfolio, baby.
Yeah, so what is the sector we're talking about? We're talking about drugstores. You want to guess who they are? We're getting ready to talk to you about Walgreens and CVS. Walgreens ticker symbol WBA, CVS, pretty straightforward. Why are we analyzing these two stocks? Go to an intersection, and guess what? These two are going to be right across from each other. One of these companies is close to becoming a dividend king. One of them has a different kind of dividend history. Since we're always looking for undervalued dividend growth stocks, let's put them head to head, battle royale, and look to see which one's a better buy today.
For those that may not remember, CVS acquired Aetna quite a few years ago. I don't know if it's been about 3 or 4 years since that acquisition, and CVS had to take on a lot of debt to complete that acquisition. However, if you haven't looked at their financial statements lately, let me bring you up to speed. Earnings and revenue have been on a skyrocket upwards. And, right now analysts are even projecting a forward EPS of over $7.50 per share, which one would think, okay, is CVS, are they just a monster machine right now? That's what we're here to take a look at. And again, Walgreens Boots Alliance, that was from another, merger between two companies within the last decade. So that's why Walgreens ticker symbol is no longer WAG, but it's WBA. And as Bert and I always do, we like to look for those undervalued dividend stocks out there in the community by looking at our 3 dividend stock metrics in our screener. 1, price to earnings; 2, payout ratio between 40 and 60%; 3, dividend growth rate, and what the 5-year growth rate is on average.
Yep, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to run these companies through here in a second. And plus, what's nice is these companies are in the heart of getting the vaccines out to people. Among everywhere, they're helping deliver these vaccines to solve this. And I know we both got our first vaccine shot in a Walgreens too. So that's why this company is also very fresh on my mind right now.
Yeah, exactly, Bert. Very fresh. I know you own Walgreens, I believe, in your portfolio, Bert.
I own both of them, actually. We bought CVS a long time ago, I think even before the Aetna merger happened. And yeah, I know you do as well. So we own both. And guess what? We're also always on the hunt for these undervalued dividend stocks. So who knows? Maybe we'll add this to our watch list going forward if one, two, or both of these companies check the boxes as we lead this dividend stock showdown. With that being said, I think it's time for us to start jumping right in here.
Let's get it on.
Yeah, let's look at that first metric, the PE ratio. Walgreens, at the time we're recording this video, their last close price was $54.18. Their forward EPS was $4.67 based on average analyst estimates. That gives you a PE ratio of 11.6, well below the S&P 500, and that's a huge discount to the market because the market is over 40x right now. It's insane.
Huge discount. Let's see if CVS Pharmacy, ticker symbol CVS, can stand up to Walgreens right there. Recently closing price on April 9, $74.70. As I said earlier, analysts are projecting that $7.52 per share. That equates to a very low price to earnings ratio of only 9.85.
So there it is. CVS is actually much lower than Walgreens, which is actually pretty fascinating. Both are killing it compared to the market as they're significantly undervalued there. And they're even lower than the market's historical PE ratio, which usually falls between 18 and 20. So from the current market environment to their historical environment, WBA and CVS both passed this first metric of our stock screener.
What you gonna do now, Jack, on the payout ratio, brother?
Yeah, Walgreens, their annual dividend is $1.87. That forward earnings of $4.67. That gives you a payout ratio of 40%. So Lanny, that looks like a perfect dividend payout ratio to me, because we think a perfect payout ratio is between 40 and 60%, as it allows you, the company, to increase your earnings, reinvest those earnings into the operations to continue increasing earnings, and pay shareholders a nice dividend along the way. So 40%, perfect for Walgreens. What about CVS?
Yeah, that Walgreens has that payout ratio that definitely helps you sleep at night. No concern on the dividend, that's for sure. CVS's, current dividend is 50 cents per quarter or $2 per year. Taking that over the forward EPS of 752, you're getting a very low dividend payout ratio of 26.6%, showing that they have ample room and can be ready at any point in time to increase that dividend.
I think that's a good segue into the next point of dividend growth and dividend growth history. Walgreens, I mentioned, 45 plus years of increasing their dividend. They're almost on the doorstep of becoming a dividend king, which increases their dividend for 50 plus consecutive years. Their 5-year average dividend growth rate is pretty solid, 5.61%, double the rate of inflation. That's what you like to see there. So check for Walgreens as we run through this analysis. What are you seeing here for CVS?
You hear those crickets?
What?
So CVS has no consecutive years of dividend increases. They actually haven't increased their dividend now for going on a few years, specifically due to that Aetna acquisition. Therefore, I'm not going to even say that there's a growth rate. So right now there is no dividend growth on CVS, but there is hope and outlook that increases should resume fairly soon, and they should be a very strong resumption as they come back to the dividend growth.
Yeah, management was pretty transparent that dividend growth was going to halt for a little bit after the acquisition. And that was, again, in 2017. So that was a long time ago. Think about it. We've covered Travelers. We've talked about other insurance companies. Insurance companies are crushing it right now. Earnings continue to grow. And that's why you've seen CVS, a stock price, continue to climb among everything. Looking at that 26% payout ratio, there's clearly room to grow that dividend going forward if they want to. So yeah, is it suck that there has been no growth for us shareholders? Sure. But to Lanny's point, I would expect dividend growth to start returning soon because the stars may be aligning for that based on their results.
And both companies, performed decently well during a pandemic year. If grocery stores were out of toilet paper, CVS and Walgreens were definitely getting some of that hangover foot traction, just to see if there was anything else, out there. So consumers were buying items at CVS and Walgreens. So both companies did well during this past year, and obviously being a huge component of delivering vaccines. As Bert said, he got his at Walgreens, and him and his wife did. I know my wife and we also went to Walgreens to get our vaccine few weeks ago for the first dose. So again, they're getting that foot traffic, people in the door. First, they're getting the vaccine. Secondly, people that are in the door maybe buying other items while they're there.
Yeah.
Wait, before or after. So that's been a huge piece.
Yeah, I mean, I had to wait 15 minutes to see if I was going to have any reaction, and I was walking around and I saw that some of their coffee was on special. So I grabbed a thing of coffee on the way out, and it's delicious. Maxwell House, support another stock we own in our portfolio, but I've enjoyed it.
There you go.
Yeah, it's a great special. Coffee's been delicious. I'm actually drinking some right now. So, hey, foot traffic's not a bad thing. So, again, just to summarize the dividend growth here, Walgreens almost a dividend king, CVS not, but we're not that scared because we're expecting something here soon. Moving into
I love CVS for some reason. Just
you like those receipts, those really long receipts that come out of CVS.
Yeah, the novel that you get. No, but in terms of CVS, I mean, just that massive earnings bump that they got from Aetna, back office synergies. I mean, I know that there was a lot of fear with Amazon trying to enter that industry. Obviously, that hasn't happened yet, and two companies are still doing very well. And Walgreens, during a pandemic, increased the dividend still.
Yeah, exactly. I can't say any better myself. Moving into that bonus metric, that dividend yield, Walgreens, their current yield is 3.45%. So again, double the S&P 500. Can't complain about that. Lanny, what are you seeing with CVS?
The CVS's dividend yield obviously is not going to blow your socks off like Walgreens, but it is above the S&P 500. It is above your online savings account rate that you're getting. That, hey, if you need to put some money to work, there are options out there. CVS's dividend yield on that $2 in dividends per year is at 2.70%. So about 75 basis points less than Walgreens.
Yeah, I mean, that's still great though. I mean, we've analyzed a lot worse dividend stocks out there, a lot lower dividend yields. So I think that's still great. We're still getting a nice little premium to the market, and that's what matters right now.
One thing I do want to point out, when Bert was talking about the growth rate from Walgreens at 5.5, keep in mind that growth rate, I think, has been kind of on the steady decline for Walgreens. I think last year was about 2%. So keep that in mind. Nothing against Walgreens, but the growth rate, though the average is over 5.5, the last few years has been slightly lower.
Yeah, and we'll see if it was only 2% last year just because of the pandemic, if they wanted just to get a small increase. So I think July 2021 will be very fascinating for Walgreens just to sit here and see what is going on.
So Bert, you own both. I know I own CVS in my portfolio. My wife, she owns Walgreens in hers. Currently looking at this picture here, what stock do you like out of these two right now?
I mean, right now, both the metrics are looking great. I like Walgreens, obviously, because I like the history of the dividend growth. CVS, their price has just been on a rocket ship this year. It's absolutely insane. If there's a slight pullback, I might look in there I want to see a little bit more, maybe after the earnings release. If there's any news about the dividend that would pique my interest to think an increase is coming, I may be willing to add. But outside of their lack of dividend growth, every other metric looks fantastic for CVS. What about you? What are you thinking?
CVS, gosh, it's pretty wild. I mean, they were actually trading back in January of last year at 70. So being only at $74, in 12 plus months, they actually haven't really, they're at an all-time high, but they're not that much.
Yeah, just because it's at an all-time high doesn't mean you shouldn't consider them. That's why we look at the PE ratio. They could be an all-time high and still undervalued too.
Exactly. Looking at where my portfolio is, I know I was gobbling up CVS a little bit during the pandemic as well, just because, I know that growth will return. I know that's stupid for me to keep saying, but, I own over 70 shares of CVS. If they dip a little bit further for me, by any chance they get at or below 70, I'll probably buy a couple more shares of CVS. When I look at my wife's account, I know she was buying a lot during the pandemic as well. Probably is not a bad stock to watch, but I know we were buying them in the mid 30s, I believe, low 40s, mid 30s. Definitely a good stock to watch. I'm curious what they'll do during the earnings release coming up, as well as they increase their dividend usually in July. So I'm curious what they'll do in the summer as well. So I'm adding both. I'll add, CVS to my watch list, and then stocks that I watch for my wife, we'll add Walgreens to hers still.
Yeah, can't hurt. Metrics look great for both. Let us know what all of you think about CVS and Walgreens here. Let us know if you're buying, if you own both of them, or if you're going to be adding them to your watch list, or maybe neither. Let us know.
Give us a thumbs up too. Give us a thumbs up if you think CVS is coming with a dividend increase this year. Dang it. If you think they're increasing, give a thumbs up. If you think Walgreens is going to increase it back at their normal growth rate, give the video a thumbs up. Let's see what everybody thinks here in the community.
Here's what I'm hearing. Just give this video a thumbs up regardless. That's what we really want to see. And subscribe to our channel as we race towards the 10,000 subscribers too. Again, we're always on the hunt for these undervalued dividend stocks to add to your portfolio. Lanny, you have any parting words here?
Again, guys, save your money, keep investing. Let's get to financial freedom. I'm glad that you're here as part of the journey with the Dividend Diplomats. That was Bert and Lanny here from the DD. Over and out.